Hello everyone, welcome to Season 14 Division 1A OCC preview. In this video we're going to have a quick look at all the different 10 teams in the division. I'm also going to have a quick look at the coaches' stats, their win rates with that team, and then we're going to go through my games and my fixture list and see where I think I'll finish up based on those particular games. So first of all, let's look at the teams. I'll start in the top left hand corner. This is a Chaos team, this is coached by Stahlberg, and it's a pretty standard Chaos team. With respect to the fact that it's got Claw, Mighty Blow and Piling On, and it's going alright. He's got a Minotaur, which is slightly unusual, but it does have Claw and Juggernaut and Stomp Home and Guard, so he clearly blitzes with it from time to time, and it is going to be a pain. The weaknesses in Minotaur, of course, it's only almost 8, and it doesn't have block. His other killer on this team is this one, from my point of view, which has Claw, Mighty Blow and Piling On. But it's got not only got agility 2, but it's also got a niggle. So if we can knock it over, or if anyone can knock it over, they might remove it from the field. The third and final most scary player on this team, from his point of view, is this player here, which is movement 7, Mighty Blow, Piling On and Tackle. There are 4 elf teams in my division, and I suspect that the elves will be bothered more about this player than this one in large part, because that player at the top has Tackle and this one doesn't. Overall, this team it's got 4 Chaos Warriors, but 3 of them have only got 1 skill or no skills, and the one that has got some skills has only got Armor 8, so it is more easy to remove than you might think. Overall, I think this team's not that effective in terms of winning the division, but certainly carries an element of threat to it, and is one that people are not going to want to play, and it won't be a match day that people will look forward to. Okay, next up we got Spider. Spider came from Tier 1 last season. He had a bit of a horrible division where he's playing against an awful lot of Claw teams, and this is his team now. Now we can see that he's got 2 Rookiesaurus, so I suspect that those had some players die. Again, the Elf teams weren't particularly like this because he's got Attack on, Mighty Blow, Piling On, and he's also got an astounding couple of players down here. Look, we've got Strength 6 Blodgesaurus, so with Break Tackle that can get around the park, and it's got Strength 6 and Blodge. Not many people will knock it over the course of the season, but those that do will want to know that it's got a niggle, and if you can get it on the floor, stamp on it, foul it, whatever, there is a half decent chance you can get it off the field. One of the Saurus has got a minus movement, minus armor, so they are not quite as bulletproof as normally they are. And then in the skink pack, we've got the Ball Carrier skink, which I believe has got a niggle. When I was doing my research beforehand, let's have a quick look. It does indeed. So it's a stunty, which is already +1 to injury on the injury table, and it's also got a niggle. Now, it does have bludge and sure hands, so it's relatively difficult to knock over. But if you do knock it over, it probably won't be staying on the field. Overall, this team feels a little bit glass cannon, and probably needs some more rebuilding before it's going to be a true threat. But it will take points off people with the movement 9, 1 turning threat skink here. And the hyper strength players we've got in here. Next up we've got Sage, another Twitch streamer, and he's got quite a nice start of a Wood Elf team here. Probably a 2-man team, I would say, which is the catcher, which is probably the most important player on the whole team, because it's movement 9, so it's nearly natural 1 turning. It only needs to push to get it into the end zone, and he's got his agility 5 War Dancer. So those 2 are the players that worry me on my interaction with Sage, but overall it's an alright team. It's got a load of cash in the bank, so you can get down to 11 players, but yeah, deal with the 2 agility 5 players. Sage's biggest weapon probably this season will be the fact that he'll be picking up a wizard in some of the games, and that is something that I think will pick him up quite a few points over the course of the season. Next up we go to Mongloom, and this is a Khemri team. Straight away you can look at the team value and you can realise that this is not a fully functional roster, so we're not going to expect a lot here. If we split the team up into 3 points, we've got the Tomb Guardians. On the one hand, he's got 2 of them with block, which is amazing, but the negatives are only one of them has Mighty Blow, so they're not particularly dangerous, but they are slightly more reliable. I guess overall you probably would actually want that, because you can add danger to them as they start to level up. Next is the Blitzrars, so no Mighty Blow, Tackle, Piling On Blitzrar. Presumably Chester Bennington is a replacement for someone who died recently, but he does have a reliable ball carrier in this one, which is Strength 4 and Agility 3, So getting the ball back once you've got it onto this, and with dodge and sidestep, it's going to be hard work. So I think this is going to win him some games when ordinarily he would be losing otherwise. And then down here, he's just got absolute chaff. He's got a dirty player, so we'll be picking up bribes is almost his first inducement, I would suspect. But overall, this team's absolutely in the rebuilding cycle, and as such, that's probably going to reflect in his overall position. Last one along the top is Aether Cuckoo, and this is a team that looks like it's been smashed around quite a lot. The Ogre's absolutely brand new. One of the blitzes is basically brand new. Two of the other blitzes have got no skills other than one. There's no tackle mighty blow pile-on player. I think this is going to be a very difficult season for the humans, and of the teams we've looked at so far, this is arguably one of the two weakest teams. Down here we've got an interesting skill pick here, which I quite like, which on both catches he's gone and got diving catch. So people are going to need to be mindful of the fact that his thrower could have the ball, and then if the catches are not stood right next to the thrower, thrower could run up, throw the ball to the catcher. They want a 2+, he's then going to be able to catch it and run away another 8 squares. So he might catch people out maybe, because these two are quite handy. But other than that, I think he's going to struggle with no guard and no kill skills. Most of the strength teams are going to probably fare quite well. Along the bottom line, we've got one of the two Dark Elf teams. This is Kazman, and the first player that stands out here is this one here, which is, how do I say it, a Goblin with Strength 4 and Agility 5. Let's have a quick look. So he's Armor 6, and he's also got a Niggle. I love this bit. This bit's great. This bit's an absolute accident. So he's going to have to be absolutely deployed and be kept completely safe, because if anyone does knock him over, he's probably leaving the field. And that is, for me, too big an accident waiting to happen. I'm really worried about this player. He's also got a Niggle. I didn't see what that was. I think it's just a move bust. And this has got an agility bust. It looks like the way that Kazman's been building his playstyle is that he uses the wizard and then this guy to go and retrieve the ball and try and score a defensive touchdown. And then if he needs to, he tries to one-turn with Bloody Mary, because it's got sprint, he's got sidestep, and he's got movement 9. So it just needs one push forwards and it can go and score. So I think this is not a standard Dark Elf team, and I can't imagine that they stand up and try and fight. I think they try and use tricks to pick up to pick up points overall in the division. Next, we've got Javelin, who's my round 1 opponent, and if I'm honest, I'm a bit sort of Marmite about this. On the one hand, I love it. He's got 3 Agility 5 players, and I think getting a result against Javelin for almost all the different teams this season is going to be hard work. He's got super low team value, so we're picking up a wizard. He's got 3 Agility 5 to make best use of recovering the ball. But that's where it stops being interesting, and I think that this team, it's a great high elf team in terms of, I think it'll be super effective, and I think he'll do well, but it just doesn't have anything else about it. So I'm worried about my first round. I think that there's a reasonable chance that I won't win that game, but he has only got 11 players, so who knows? It's a risky roster. It's a bit glass cannon-y. Uses the wizard, steals the ball, and then what? Now we've got me. Orchestrated Demise. I like this team. I don't mean it because it's my team, I actually like it. The Troll's got block, which really helps. We've got 3 Blitz Black Orcs, which have all got block and guard, and Mighty Blow. And the Strength 4 Blodge Stand Firm is amazing. I'm really pleased with this one. Jenny, unfortunately, is a replacement Black Orc, who have only played 3 games, I think. And we did have block and guard on the original, so I did have 10 guard. We're now down to a paltry 9. Other than that, I think the elf teams should be a fun matchup, because we've got 3 tackle, and Roustful is only a few points away from probably picking up tackle as his 4th one. So I think we offer a good match for the elves, but I think we also have enough guard to strength up and fight the strength team. So I think this team probably has a good variety of most things in the locker. The downside is we are quite expensive at 2110, and so most teams will be picking up inducements, and they will be using those inducements either to take bribes, extra players, APOs or wizards, depending on what they need to fill up their roster. Overall, it's alright, and I think it should do alright. Last but one team, we've got Trunkhead. Trunkhead, the other Dark Elf team. Again, he's got 2 armor busts. He's got a niggle there. That's got a niggle. And that one, that's definitely got an armor bust. Let's have a quick look and see if it's got a niggle as well. No, just the armor bust. And I think like the other Dark Elf team, if I just fire this, fire this, fire this, fire this, and fire this, just get rid of them, and then run on the basis that you've actually got a wizard. And I think the team roster will be much more effective and much more stable. It's got some really nice players, like down here. These are great. And now you've got an agility 5, which I don't see what you need this one for. Just bin it off and save yourself the team value. He's a great player. It's his own team. But I think that the niggles will offer a level of inconsistency that this team might struggle to push for the very top end of the league. We'll see. Finally, we've got our Carne. I haven't showed you guys anything else, but I will show you the stats on this team afterwards. Our Carne has 2 piling on Mighty Blow Berserkers, sorry, which will be a real handful, and the Elf teams especially will hate this one. And this one's got Dauntless, so I don't particularly like it either because the Black Orcs are not safe. So that's a problem player. That's absolutely a problem player for almost everybody. And hopefully someone can kill it before I have to play it. He's got 1, 2, 3 guard, so he's a little bit light on the guard, but it'll come. It absolutely will come. What he has got is 4 tackle players, so I think the Elf teams will really find this matchup particularly hard. I think the only matchup he probably won't be looking forward to is the Orcs, because I've got 3. It's 3 guard versus 10. However, down here, look, we've got the Yeti. It's got Mighty Blow. It's got Claw. If that starts firing and the Berserker at the top there starts rolling 9s and 10s on the armor, we could have problems. So this is going to be a real difficult matchup. Only thing he's got against him is it's expensive, so some of the Elf teams will be picking up inducements against him. Just have a quick look at this though. For a Norse team in a league, 26-3-7. I'm impressed. That's really good. That's really, really good. And I think that he'll do really well. What I want to look at now is just some stats and numbers, because I quite like my stats and numbers. So I'm just going to turn on screen 1 capture. And what we've got here is 3 different sets of stats that I managed to pull together. So we've got win rate in leagues. This is comprised from all of the win rates that are on the Blood Bowl 2 OCC win boards. If you click into a coach's name, it shows you all the games that they've played in any leagues that have ever used that website to collect the stats together. In all cases, pretty much all the coaches had an awful lot of matches played. I'll just show you the basic stats there. Look, so most people have played quite a lot of games. Look, and some have played an awful lot of teams like Spider. So it's not a nothing stat. Our Carne has the highest win rate in all leagues, 77%, which is absolutely really impressive. Mine's at 71. I was quite pleased with that. Sage is at 63, and we've got Kazman, and then anyone below 60 was coloured in blue. So I didn't want to go with red because I thought that was not cool. Blue, because 50% win rate plus is pretty good. So that should give you an idea of how effective the coaches are. Then we looked at the win rate with that team specifically, and that's where Carne really stands out. Look at that, 76% with that team. That is incredible, considering everyone else. Yeah, Kazman's the second best win rate at 67. He's a full 13% ahead of me, and I'm third. That is incredible. So I'm really, really impressed with that. But you can see here that Carne, Kazman and myself are probably the top 3 with win rates. And then you might say that Javelin and Trunkhead are the top 5 coaches with that team. Overall, we'll see whether this becomes interesting. I then thought, well, we'll take a win rate in another pool. I play in CCL, and I put that in. So I've got 76% win rate. Sage at 70, Javelin 62, Spider 61. And the only coach that actually really stood out, and I don't know whether it's the sample size is really small or not. Apologies, Selberg. I don't know if you only played 2 or 3 games, but you've clearly not been pushing CCL, considering you are absolutely a lot better than that. So we'll see. Taking all of this into consideration, there are some relatively constant names in terms of where people are. So I think I'm going to make a prediction, which is that the top 3 this season are going to be myself, are Carne and Kazman, because Kazman is 4th on that list, and he's 2nd on that list, and he is mid-pack here, but yeah, if he'd got 2 percentage points, he'd be set 3rd on that list. So I think Kazman should do well, and I think I'll do well, because I really like my Orc team in this division, and I think our Carne should be doing well. On the other side, I think we can look at the teams that might get relegated. Mongloom is going to struggle with that Khemri team. That's absolutely in rebuild phase. The Humans, which is coached by Aether Cuckoo, I think they'll struggle, and I think they might get relegated. And then the final team, I'm not sure. I'm going to pick one of two. I'm going to throw a wild card out, and I'm going to say that Spider might be deciding to try and rebuild, in which case he'll be focused on rebuilding rather than results, in which case he might go down. Or I think that it's going to be Trunkhead and his elves, because he's going to struggle with the niggles that's on his team. So I'm not sure, and I'm sure I'm going to pick up some flack for that. Last thing I want to quick look at is my matches in order. So here, this number here is the win rate of the teams. So it looks like I've got the hardest matches are all sort of stacked at the start of the division. That's going to be versus Agility 5 and a Wizard. So that's absolutely. I'm going to put that one down as a 1-1 draw. The Khemri, I think we should be all right there. This one I'm going to put myself down as a 2-0 win, but I think that it absolutely could spectacularly go wrong. Sage has got himself a Wizard and Agility 5, so I'm going to put that there. The Dark Elf results, I think we're going to say I think I can win those. I think I can win that one as well. That one I think will be a draw, because I think I'll be conscious of where we are in terms of protecting the players. I'm going to put myself down as a win on that one, and I'm absolutely going to put myself down as a win on that one. So I think we could go, if everything goes well, 6-3-0. Whether it will or not, I don't know. And I think I'll be targeting these matches as the ones that I think we're able to pick the points up in. And I think these matches are the ones where I'm a bit concerned in terms of the result. This one absolutely could easily be this. Could be this. Considering the coaching win rate, you've got to respect that it is very, very high. And so maybe we should give ourselves a 5-3-1 record overall, and say that's a date, Davo, well done. And say we're going to have a 5-3-1 record. So flip it back over here. We'll see whether this plays out. I wish everyone in the division a good luck, and until next time, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the short video, leave a like and subscribe, and I will be uploading the games on YouTube over the next coming weeks. Thank you. Cheers. Bye.